Absolute value measures the distance that a value is from 0. So our positive numbers, we already, like we can see their absolute value right there. 10, the absolute value of it is 10 because it's 10 steps from 0. A negative number, like -10, the absolute value of -10 is also 10 because it is 10 steps from 0, just in the other direction. So essentially, absolute value is saying we care about how far it is from 0, but we don't care in which direction. We don't care if it's smaller, it went left, or it's bigger, it went right. We're just saying how far is it from 0. Absolute value is always positive. That doesn't mean the answer is positive, but it means anything inside those absolute value bars is going to come out positive at the end. Let's see how this works. So the absolute value of -10, I just did that one, whoops, is 10 because that's how far it is from 0. Here we have a problem that has an absolute value inside of it. So we have 4 plus the absolute value of -2. And the absolute value of -2, that is 2 steps from 0, so it's just 2. So we're going to change this problem into just 4 plus 2, which hopefully we know that that is 6. Now, down here, look out. We have a secret multiplying. When you have a number right in front of a parentheses or an absolute value or a bracket, those groups, that means that's a multiply. We didn't write multiply, but it means multiply. So anyway, we have 3 times the absolute value of -2. Now, we already know that the absolute value of -2 is 2 because we just did it up there. So we're going to say this is just 3 times 2. Ooh, this one is also 6. All right. Now we have -2 times the absolute value of 5 minus 11. We're going to start inside that group and do 5 minus 11. So this just carrying along, -2 times absolute value of, and we're going to do 5 minus 11 and get -6. Now we can do the absolute value of what is inside there. So first we solved, and now we're going to apply the absolute value. 5 minus 11 is -6. The absolute value of -6 is just 6. And now I can solve. -2 times 6 is -12. I'm going to add in one more problem that I didn't put in. Let's do 7 minus the absolute value of -9. Just as a quick reminder, 7 minus -9, when we subtract a negative, that turns into a positive because subtracting is the opposite. It's the same as adding the opposite. So anyway, coming back here, 7 minus the absolute value of -9 turns into, we're going to bring along 7 minus, the absolute value of -9 is just 9. But we still are subtracting because this subtraction was outside the absolute value. It doesn't change just because we had absolute value after it. So this is still 7 minus 9, and when we subtract it, we get -2. You can still have a negative answer to a problem that had absolute value in it. You just want to make sure you apply the absolute value where it applies, right? Okay, that's absolute value.